Can we look to send this through into turn 1? He's going to go for the move on the inside. We go to the inside of both of them for the 3 wide for a split second there. They go down the inside. We've gone a bit wide. It's now side by side, maybe into the next long left-hander. Hey, what's up, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today on Gran Turismo 7. We're back again in the Super Formula car, this time with an F1 2022 Mercedes livery, which looks gorgeous, I must say, on this car. We dive bomb down the inside of turn 1 here, but we're going to get sent back through. We actually have a side-by-side moment straight away, and the AI being quite punchy, I think you'll see in this whole video around the Nürburgring. I've dived straight into this one, no practice whatsoever around this track, and I say that because it's been a while since I've driven this track in any kind of sense, because obviously it's not on the F1 calendar anymore. It's a bit of a shame the German Grand Prix is not on the calendar as a whole, either Hockenheim or the Nürburgring, so I thought since it's in this game, we just had to take these cars around the Nürburgring and have any kind of glimpse of F1, quote-unquote, at the Nürburgring back again. But of course, it's the Super Formula cars. But like I said, they actually really suit the F1 liveries, like probably almost more well than the actual F1 cars in some regards, because you have just such a nice shape around every aspect of the car. The nose, the front wing, even the side pods with some aggressive little flick up bits, and then the rear wing is actually not as massive and gauntly as maybe the real life rear wings are, as we now go through on the inside using plenty of curb to get up into P16. But yeah, we've got a 7-lap race then around the Nürburgring. Not any old race as well, because this is a dry to wet race. So I've applied the settings in a way where on the last lap we should be getting proper actual rain falling on the circuit. The middle way part will get overcast and will be drizzling. So I wanted to see what kind of chaos there might be right on like the last few corners, let's say, when it's actually, you know, time for intermediates or wet tires or whatever the case, and we're all here on slick tires, as you can clearly see on the on either side of the cockpit with the yellow wall. And unlike some of the other videos I've done with the Super Formula car at F1 circuits or circuits that F1 has been to, I've dived straight into this race, no practice whatsoever. So these are my very first laps of the Nürburgring on GT7. So instead of actually just flying through the pack, you're going to see this takes us the whole race to get up towards the sharp end. We actually have to push hard and try and kind of learn how hard we can push this car in terms of the limits of, you know, braking, and then also the actual turning, and when I can get on the power, especially in this next sector here, in terms of the flat out commitment through the fast left and right, and then the sharper left hand we're about to come up to here. And we're going to splice in some of these like replay camera shots, because yeah, I mean, I find it, I kind of get it, but also not. I don't know why they don't have this particular T-cam view like raceable in the game. I know Gran Turismo is kind of, you know, it's, you know, the aura is more of a simulator, so I guess that's why they don't have it. But also at the same time, they have the bonnet camera, which is also basically just a B-Tech T-cam. So I don't know, but we're going to splice in some of these replays as a bit of a nice visual way to present the race to you. So at the moment we're up into P13. So, you know, like I said, unlike the other videos we've maybe done so far with this car in these kind of custom races, we've not flown through the pack. I think also the rolling start was also potentially a reason why. I've kind of noticed this also watching obviously my fellow quadrant member Steve Super GT, some of his videos, and he's noted about the differences of the rolling start and the grid start. With the rolling start, it seems like the AI are a lot better in the opening lap and getting away, obviously, because you've also got that difference of P1 to last place being so much larger. So the AI putting up way more of a fight than they maybe have done in previous videos. So we go for a move and we get squeezed a little bit. We're half of the grass. We were committed to the right-hand side there. We just about squeezed through there, but that 13th place man not giving us any room to work with, hardly. He wanted us to go to the inside, but I was having none of it, because the outside, of course, for that left-hander turns into the inside for the next one. So I really wanted to commit to the outside then. And now through the hairpin, getting a good launch as we're going to send it through the quick left and right flat out with these cars, taking a bit of curb on the left, bit of curb on the right, and then flying through, looking to make a big old dive, but we're going to brake a bit too late there, and we get it all crossed up, having to go to the escape road a little bit, and we actually get switched back then down the inside, and the tyres were crying out a little bit there, as I didn't get the turning I was expecting then on the next right-hander. So I'm not, you can clearly see, hopefully, that I very much unlike the other videos where I felt maybe it was a bit of an exhibition of getting through the cars. This one, I'm actually having to concentrate and trying to get the head down and make sure I don't make too many mistakes to actually find the speed to get around this circuit, because yeah, I think the last time I actually drove Nürburgring with an F1 car on the Cody's games. I think it was maybe 2013, literally, because I know Nürburgring was on the calendar in 2020, but it was so late in the day, we never got it in the F1 game, which was a big shame, really. And then, obviously, the last time I drove the German Grand Prix, it was Hockenheim, 2018, I want to say, 2018, 2019, don't quote me on that, but Nürburgring, it's been a long while. The physics of the F1 game were very, very different back in F1 2013. But yeah, I miss this circuit. It was a really fun circuit. Actually, it produced some good racing, at least in the game. In real life, yeah, there's some pretty decent racing, I feel, in real life as well. It's one of those thoroughbred circuits. It's Nürburgring. It's a very famous circuit. It's a bit of a shame we don't have it in F1. But as ever with Formula 1, it's all about the money and the financials. And yeah, I mean, for different reasons, they just don't have the ability to host a Grand Prix. Well, I think at least that's how I've read it. In the last couple of years, why there hasn't been a German Grand Prix, even when they are alternating. We thought that was going to solve the issue, and then lo and behold, yeah, it's just dropped off the face of the season, apart from that kind of emergency Grand Prix we had in 2020. But we're now up into P11 and the clouds are coming in, so this is the very first time I'm seeing the weather system, the dynamic system in Gran Turismo, that transition. And I think at the pace we're going, I think we're probably going to be catching hopefully the leader literally by the last lap of this race when the rain is fully starting to come down, so that's going to be quite juicy. But as we enter lap 5, we've got a really good run on the car ahead. Can we look to send this through into turn 1? He's going to go for the move on the inside. We go the inside of both of them for the 3 wide for a split second there. They go down the inside. We've gone a bit wide. It's now side by side, maybe into the next long left-hander. So we got one car, but one guy came back at me then. So they're giving us a real good fight now here. A little bit of contact. I was missighted by the AI ahead of us, braking a little bit earlier than I was going to myself. But we're able to go around the outside then, get it to the left-hand side of the circuit for where the racing line is, and get up those 2 positions eventually. But a lovely little 3 wide moment into turn 1 momentarily to get those 2 positions lined up, and we're up into P9. Good progress here. I think we can hopefully get 2 more cars, and if we keep doing that, then by the end of the last lap on lap 7, we should be there fighting for that race victory as we're going purple. And even though the clouds are coming over, I think at this point in the race, technically, it should be starting to drizzle just a little bit, but visually, we're not seeing that too much. The grip levels are definitely changing a tad, but the speed that we're speeding up because I'm getting used to the circuit more so, and with the car, because this is literally my 5th lap on this game with the track. But I can see with the AI that they're starting to slip up a little bit with the grip levels, and as we're finding confidence, we're actually taking advantage of that as they're feeling that lack of grip. And that chicane's definitely a bit of an issue for some of these AI. That guy vaulting over, and he's actually gone so slow now. We're able to go around the outside of him in the final bend, finding the grip on the outside there in 3rd gear, and we're up into P7. So we've got 2 laps to go. We're going to switch back over to the bonnet cam to see a bit more of the circuit. We're going to dive down the inside, get to the apex of turn 1, get back to this lovely dynamic T-cam, this moving one, and he's actually come back at me then as we're side by side now. So the AI actually really good off that left-hander up the hill, able to get the traction and actually come back at me and bite a little bit on the inside. We're able to hold position and hold hold steady and then carry on with our progress up this grid of 20. Through the left-hander, carrying a lot of speed, really late on the brakes, and our man ahead of us is struggling a little bit. The AI are definitely struggling a little bit more than myself, but I've got to admit, obviously, this may be part due to the fact that I am still on a controller right now at the moment, and so therefore have a little bit of traction enabled, so that may be the reason. Although I will say, happy news, good news for those of you who want to kind of see me do a bit more, you know, without the assist and, you know, with the wheel. My wheel is now here. I'm setting it up, and so hopefully the next Gran Turismo 7 video I do will be with wheel, will be without all the assists now removed, so that'll be really cool. It'll be good for me to finally actually experience GT7 in a bit more of an authentic feel with the, you know, force feedback of a racing wheel rather than just the haptics, which are very good, to be fair. Like I said in my review and whatnot, very, very good haptic feedback from the new PS5 controller, but obviously it's going to be a lot better, a lot more of a cooler experience to have it on a wheel, especially for me, obviously, because I use a wheel on F1. It'll be really cool for me just to see that difference of how the feedback comes through. I expect this game to be probably a lot more unforgiving and more realistic in terms of the feeling of the car, maybe in terms of the weight on the circuit, but I'm going to have to wait till I fully set that up and try it out. But yeah, what else, you know, let me know in the comments below maybe what maybe I should do with the wheel first and foremost, maybe to try it out. I might even try streaming myself trying the wheel out for the first time on GT7, so be sure to get followed over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/aarava.tv. There'll be a link in the description as well, I'm pretty sure as well. So here we are then on the last lap of this race, lap number 7, and it is fully overcast now, and the rain is falling, and you're about to see it fully start to settle on the circuit now as we enter the halfway stage of this lap. You can see the spray on the offboard camera is actually a lot more apparent than the onboard whilst we're actually driving here. So the rain has arrived, and we're all on slick tyres, so the grip levels are a little bit questionable, but it's actually pretty good for myself and the AI. But we're lifting off here through that left and right now and going a little bit early on the brakes just in case we're going to go wide and we don't have the exact same confidence. We nearly go fully off circuit there as we do feel that lack of grip in the rain. But to be fair, to say that it is raining this hard, myself and the AI, not too bad here. But now this is the last sector. I don't think we're going to win this race, but can we dive bomb for P2 maybe? Really late on the brakes. The AI a little bit tentative into the left and right, and we cut through into P2. It's not going to be the win. This man, the Canadian AI, is going to win at this one, but they gave me a real good race today. 7 laps, really had to work for it to get up to here. Now a lot of wheel spin as we go across the line, because literally as we crossed the line, that was the point where the rain was fully here, and if we continued on for more laps, we all probably would have been in struggle towns in terms of spinning around. Even with myself, you saw there the traction control was trying to control it, but just had no use, and almost span it across the line. So that has been a really fun race around the Nürburgring here with the F1 2022 Mercedes liveried Super Formula car. Guys, if you did enjoy, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for some more GT7 content in the future. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.